During the research, production and evaluation of my products, I used a range of technology to aid me in my work. For example, the hardware I used consisted of a DSLR camera to film my music video, which is an example of prosumer technology and is also a widely available piece of equipment, as well as an Apple Mac on which I did the majority of my work, and convergent devices such as laptops and mobile devices which were used to view the video. On the software side of technology, I use Final Cut Pro and Adobe Photoshop, which are other examples of prosumer technology. These allowed me to edit my video easily and successfully on Final Cut and edit and construct my digipack on Photoshop. I also use sites such as Wix to create and produce my website, demonstrating more prosumer technology as well as being part of Web 2.0. Also, as a part of Web 2.0, I used YouTube and various other websites such as existing artist sites to help me with my research into music videos and artists, as well as using YouTube for distributing my music video to a wide interactive audience, including Generation C. Another way I helped further distribute the video was using social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter. This allowed me to share and market the video to a wider audience. Finally, I used WordPress to blog my work and present my planning in a clear, simple way that I could organise easily. All of this technology helps with the overall construction of my products throughout several stages. First of all, the research stage. Within this stage, I used YouTube as a fairly main component, as I needed to research existing bands and artists that related to my artist and fell within the same genre. This way, I could look into the codes and conventions of a typical folk music video. I deconstructed several music videos from the folk genre to discover a strong summary of the typical conventions of these videos. I used the internet to search for artists to learn more about their general representation, image, and iconography. Technology helped me create a solid foundation for my project and a good base to build my own artist iconography and media products to assist them. Next was my planning stage into creating my products. The way in which technology assisted me within this stage was through both hardware and software. First, I used the camera on my mobile phone to take images of locations and settings for my recce shots, which allowed me to create an idea of where I would be shooting and how the locations would work correctly with the mise-en-scène to create a correct representation within the music video scenes. Following this, I used Website to document my work, particularly throughout my planning stage, to aid me in setting out my schedules and work times, to allow me to see clearly when I should be shooting what, and to keep all my planning easily organised. The actual construction of the video used a various range of technology to put the whole thing together. First, I used a DSLR camera to shoot my video. This took place in 2 locations, and I used this camera to create some of the effects desired, such as a pull focus used within the video. Following the main filming of the video, I then transferred all the footage to Final Cut Pro to edit my footage into an effective music video that followed the codes and conventions of the genre, which is where my earlier research through technology of the typical folk music video becomes very useful. The main technique I used in Final Cut Pro was the use of multicam, which allowed me to immediately cut together all my footage in sync with the audio to create a bass track. From there, I could just cut and trim the visuals to fit the genre, focusing on close-ups of the artist singing or playing their instruments. I was also able to adjust the layout of the music video, making sure to focus on performance-based footage throughout the chorus and then focus on narrative-based footage throughout the verses, with a more direct address throughout the bridge of the song, making it more intense in the performance. I then used filters on my footage to help follow some typical conventions of the folk genre. For example, using a warmer, lighter filtered look on the performance-based parts of the song, which creates a more carefree and nomadic iconography of the artist. Whereas on the darker, grittier based narrative parts of the video, I used a darker filter to dim the lighting and give a more sorrowful, cold, dark effect. This encompasses the idea of intertextuality and Stewart's theory of reading and reconstructing, taking influence from other film-like media and applying it to the narrative of a music video. Finally, in the evaluation stage of my project, I used my access to Web 2.0 and the Global Village to connect with Generation C as part of my target audience, as well as utilising Gauntlet's ideas. I distributed my music video through YouTube, a Web 2.0 site, by titling it sensibly and making it public. I used a tagging feature on YouTube to put my video a maximum access point using suitable tags on the video. From there, I then branched out to create a wider dispersion of the video and target a larger audience by sharing it on social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter, which appeals to Generation C and the creation of a wider, more diverse audience being reached. Overall, I used a range of hardware and software to complete my work, including prosumer technologies, Web 2.0 accessible sites and pages, and cameras and mobile devices. The use of Web 2.0 and convergence devices allow me to reach a high level of interactivity with an active audience who are part of Generation C, and therefore constantly connected. The Generation C-based audience is needed to make sure my use of convergent devices works. This is explained by Gauntlet when he said, "Making is connecting." Gauntlet also said, "Interactivity and Web 2.0 makes users more creative." This implies that the audience and users that view the video are capable of becoming further distributors, and also demonstrates the fact that anyone is able to produce and create music videos to distribute for themselves. The use of Web 2.0 creates the potential for my video to become globally distributed, thanks to the global village and existence of Generation C. Stafford said this about the music industry and stated that there is access to those performances around the world, referencing the distribution of the music industry and its products, connoting that the music industry is widespread and global. Additionally, the use of prosumer technology allowed me to easily construct and produce a successful and suitable music video that works well within the industry and its specific genre. All the different types of technology allowed me to do this in a simple way, including the production with prosumer technology as well as the use of Web 2.0 to research the conventions of the genre and make it successful through YouTube. And finally, through my distribution of the product, using Web 2.0 to utilize the global village. This all reinforces Stafford's idea that the basis of music production is accessible to anyone with a modicum of talent, and demonstrating that production is open to anyone regardless of musical talent. Concluding this, the use of technology allowed me to successfully create my products with technologies so readily available for use, being prosumer-based and easy to get hold of, or Web 2.0 based and therefore easy to access and navigate, as well as creating synergy between technologies to make it even easier to achieve my goals. For example, synergy between Web 2.0 sites such as YouTube and Twitter allowed me to distribute my products in an effective and straightforward manner. Also, synergizing the camera and all my footage with Final Cut Pro enabled me to edit and improve my footage to the correct standard and right conventions of the genre to make sure the overall outcome was successful.